Okay, you guys, hello and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the How to Hustle Morning Show. Today, we are talking about money and the beliefs that
Mhm.
keep you from having it.
That's right.
Oh, boy, this is going to be a fun one, you guys, because I went through all of my places when I was in $50,000 of debt, and some of the stuff that I actually did to get through that to grow that first company, which made 1.2 million one year back in 2011. And some of the belief systems that I've had to keep riding on myself over and over and over again about the lack that we talk about in this reality. But first, let me just give you a couple of reminders.
Hey.
We are going to rebroadcast Amba Jam Rose coming this Thursday. I really feel like this is an important one, and everyone should listen to it more than once.
Yeah, if you haven't heard Ambajan before, she's just one of those that can go super fast. She is one of those that is super like I can't even explain it. Like she
It
can
was
traverse this universe and takes you with us. Like I just remember everything moving whenever we started her meditation before she even started talking about
yeah,
it. Like we both were like, "Whoa, I see it."
yeah.
So it's just fascinating how she's been able to do that for so many people and create such a group healing and just environment and essence with
Yeah,
everything she does.
absolutely. Also want to remind you on YouTube to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get the notifications.
That's right.
And a couple other reminders. Mystique Societe, our inner circle mastermind, is happening
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we are inviting in everyone that even just tried Growth Day as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to hop on board, you can still try Growth Day. That link will be in the chat. It will be in the YouTube caption and everywhere where you see words.
That's right. And the Growth Day, just in case you're wondering, is the app that is the partnership that we did with Brendan Burchard. He's all about productivity. And so we bring in the extra mystic flair, doing that with our Mystique Societe. So it's a really fun collaboration that we're doing. We have two versions of it. You can join us at Mystique Society. Without the app, or you can do the upgraded version for just a couple dollars more, and actually get all of Brendan Burchard's AI help and productivity tips. Plus, there's tons of interaction and lots of other coaches on there that
Mhm.
are contributing too. So we just love that we were able to bring that to you. Love that we were able to do that collaboration, just in case you were wondering. And again, that is on the join page where you
Yeah,
everywhere where you
today,
see words.
yeah, sometimes he does these short
Yeah, today you were talking
little
about it.
things. And
Hmm.
today he was talking about journaling and just saying, he wouldn't be where he is at if he didn't really invest in journaling for his own good. And part of the app is so that you journal every day. And he rewards you for streaks so you can get
I
different
have a
prizes
little
and things
comment
like
about
that.
that I just read. So there was a study, and I don't quote me on the study, but there was a study done by a university that went and asked a good survey of people. And basically, what they found, they were like, "Do you, what are your goals? Do you have
Mhm.
goals?" And most people were able to say, "Yeah, I got goals." Some people said they don't have goals. So there was a percentage of people that said they didn't have goals. There
Mhm.
was a larger percentage of people, like maybe 70%, said, yeah, they have goals, but they couldn't always, easily recall them. And then a lower percentage of that, like three, said, they asked them, well, do you write them down? And
Mhm.
they said, yeah, I've written them down once, but I can't find them. And
Uh-huh.
then there was this 1%, or it could have been a very low number, 1% of the respondents said that they did have goals, they write them down, and they refer to them on a daily basis.
Yep.
I mean, this was crazy. And guess who these people were? They were
High
all
achievers.
millionaires.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? So last night I worked on my vision board.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Lee, it's right in front of you. You know imagery works, you know vision boarding works because
Yeah.
that is how the subconscious communicates. And so I sat there and I just had fun with it. I just really stepped into. I asked my higher self to play along, and it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's been something that I had been writing out, journaling, but I hadn't put the pictures to it. So here we are in June. So don't make yourself wrong.
If it takes you 6 months to make a vision board for your year.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, who says it has to be done every year?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess if you accomplish everything, it should be
Yeah.
redone.
Yeah, mine needed to be redone because
Mhm.
pretty much everything on my vision board, including a blue pool. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke.
That
Is
yard is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
I mean, I had that on my vision board, and now we've got this big, cabana thing, and the pool is blue because we were having a big fight with it when it was always turning green. Big long story, but anyway, I just kept seeing it as blue. I put
Mhm.
these really beautiful images a long time ago. I even put a vision out for having a studio, and what didn't end up happening in my house, but
Mhm.
we converted Jenna's yoga studio into our studio. So seeing all of those things come to fruition on
Yeah.
my vision board has been super duper magical. However, I had
Mhm.
another poster board that was sitting right next to it that was blank.
That
So
wouldn't
I've got
surprise
the
me.
images, got the images printed for that or laid out for
Well,
that.
these days you've got to have a printer and you've got to have scissors and the whole shebang, right? It's
Yeah.
like it was almost easier back in the day when
We
you had
cut out.
magazines and stuff like
Right,
that, right?
right. But
Hmm.
you have Canva, and so it
Yeah.
lays it out really
Okay.
beautiful, and you've got the internet, so you can kind of be a little bit precise about whatever. And I got my like a little head, and I can put it in there because now AI is all cool. So it's fun.
Well,
And
that's
you
kind of
can
fun.
actually, yeah, and you can actually make a reel too, right?
Hmm.
Like kind of something that you play personally for yourself. And Joe Dispenza always talks about mind movies,
Yeah.
and that impresses it
Yeah.
creates the
I did
imprint
that
for the stuff.
earlier
Yeah, you
this year.
did. I
I
remember.
don't watch it, but I will now. Oops.
Right, right. So
Called
anyway, I
myself
was
out
super
on that one.
motivated by that little story, and it's
Uh-huh.
really cool that Brenda Burchard from Growth Day and the
Yeah.
app mentioned how important journaling is. So there
Yeah.
you go. That's
It's
today's PSA.
yeah. Yeah, I really, really love the app. I didn't really know that I was going to. I thought it was just a good pie in the sky, but I
Yeah,
actually really like it.
yeah,
Jenna Kutcher was on there talking about
she's great.
questions, and
Yeah,
she's like, we were out with my family and we were, exploring like what would they want to relive in their life and asking like questions about, what was the first memory you had and a bunch of things. And I was like, that's just fun
yeah,
conversation for
yeah,
families. And I thought it was great.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm all motivated too. I'm gonna get my family to do their vision boards,
Yeah.
and we'll have a vision for the business.
And the live event. Yes, we've
Yeah,
got a live
I know.
event
I'm excited.
coming. It's called Vital Quest. It's happening November 7th through
That made it
9th.
on my board.
You can get early bird tickets right now, and it's at houthustle.com/early bird. It's just $97. It will be $297 shortly, but you have through June to pick it up for $97 if you want to join us live here in Austin, Texas. So it won't be at a hotel. It's going to be in a very beautiful outdoorsy kind of space with some indoor air conditioner as
Oh,
well.
perfect. Yes. Have to do. The
Mhm.
other thing I was going to say, if you are on the fence but feel like you might want to come, I would go ahead and secure that ticket. We will work with you to do a refund if something comes up, but only in this little bit of a window.
Yeah.
So, if you feel like you're like being called, I mean, we know that's a little bit far of a way to make a full-on commitment like that, but it's $97. Go ahead and secure the ticket, and then we can work something out if something doesn't come all the way to fruition. We will have a cutoff date of when that refunds we can accept it
It
anymore.
says on the
But
site you cannot
yeah,
refund, but we're saying you can, or we will apply it to a product or something.
exactly. So we definitely will work with you. Basically, we just want to make it super easy for you. If you're feeling called right now and you really want to get a lower price ticket point, I would totally go ahead and just reserve that
Yeah.
ticket for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we like doing this early and upfront so that we sort of know our numbers.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah. We
right?
want to know how many people are actually going to show up
Yeah, I
and
gotta know how
play
many.
with us. We have an idea.
Yes. And how many mats need to be out there and how much space we need. It's
Yep.
gonna be fun. We've had
How
some
many goodie
really,
bags?
yeah. How many people or bodies are gonna change? I love
Mhm.
it. It's
Food.
11:11 right now.
Love it.
Yeah. So okay, let's jump
All
in.
right.
Or do you want to talk about the new one?
Talk about the what? Oh, the new moon. You No, it's a full moon,
It is a full
right?
moon.
Okay.
Yes, it's a strawberry moon.
Strawberry moon tonight
That's right.
and tomorrow, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's sort of very,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. So in Mystic Spaces with the News, June's strawberry full moon, according to ABC News,
Mhm.
when to see it for your zodiac sign. So the full moon will rise over the United States on Wednesday, June 11th, and basically says that as summer peaks and heads into around the corner, so does the first full moon of the season. Basically, this full moon is really interesting in the fact that it has like a longer duration, and we haven't seen the moon this big in over several years. It's
You can
probably
kind
safe
of
to
see it
hear.
coming. Like you can almost not avoid the moon.
I know. Can you
It's
feel
so
it?
big and bright the last couple days.
It's so beautiful. It's also known for ushering in a wave of joyful, expansive energy. This lunar event marks the vibrant celestial moment to kick off warmer months. Celebrity astrologer Kyle Thomas, who is known for cosmic guidance among the celebrities, says that the best way to take advantage of this joyous moon is to sit in rituals sometimes. And we're going to talk about
Yep,
rituals as well.
that's
You can
funny.
also take out your crystals and your jewels and charge them up during the new moon. So sometimes I don't throw the diamonds out there, but I will grab some of my crystals, my rocks, and I will
Mhm.
put them out. And this one is particularly more charged because of how long and because of where we are within Aquarius. So it's very fun. I definitely recommend going out and to see it. It says, anything else relevant here? Basically, just saying that when we want to look at how we can interact with the moon, the best thing you can do when you're charging your crystals and you're creating those intentions, I mean, when you're creating those rituals, is just to set clear intentions.
Mhm.
And that is a resetting and a new joyful, infuse the joy into those intentions. Don't do the, I'm going to say this right here. Don't do the intention without infusing what it feels like, the joyous moments of having that which you wish to receive. And so that's my mystic
Big
space
space
weather
weather.
news for today.
Love it. While you were talking about that, I was thinking about money a little bit and the abundance that we have just by the light of the moon. Uh,
Oh, that's cool. That's
right?
sweet.
Uh, my father, if you want to write this down, he forced me, literally forced me, and then he quizzed me on it. I think I was like
So good at remembering
12 or
stuff.
13. There's a book called The Richest Man in
In Babylon,
Babylon,
yeah.
and he made me follow all the rules about the richest
Oh,
man
this
in
is gonna get
Babylon.
good, y'all. All right, so pull up chair. Let's hear
You
it.
know,
Story
and
time.
it is a little contracted at some points, but it did get me and my head focused on money. And he always said, if you don't pay attention to money, money won't pay attention to you.
Mm.
So I got lucky and got some money beliefs installed in my little brain very early on. And it's also caused problems in another way because it's sometimes it's like watch your pennies and dimes, and then the dollars will just add up. And that actually was the reality that I have created.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to a point in my life that I was like, I can't even spend money on something like stupid and frivolous.
I gotcha. Which,
And I
yeah,
think it's okay, except I had
yeah.
to get back down to what really is my choices around money. And so that conversation brought things all up once again with me and money. Years ago in 2013, I just thought I was a money rock star, and I wanted to do this whole course on it called Sexy Money.
That's right.
And I literally went through all the beliefs and all the lies, and hopefully there will be a renewal of this at some point. But today we're just talking about money.
That's right.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about the belief system that's installed and how does that I know the answers to this, but I kind of want to
Mhm.
just take it deeper. How do you feel like that richest man in Babylon belief system is affecting the money today?
Well,
Like, give me an example.
so the one of the principles is it doesn't matter how much money you make. If say you make $100 a week, 10% of that goes into your savings account.
Okay,
I still today teach my kids this
that's
because
good.
you have to have money.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
yeah,
get to a
yeah.
certain point and you have plenty of money, and especially the way that I did money when we made so much money and we didn't really need to use it. So
Yeah,
it just got like stuffed in a brokerage account, which is good because it's still bringing in income.
yeah,
So I call it like mailbox money.
yeah,
And so that works.
yeah.
It basically, but what I did is it became a trap for me. It
Okay.
became like it was only that. I could not spend my 10% account. And then it was like I was not just putting 10% over, I was putting like 50%
Yeah,
over at one point
yeah.
because I didn't use it right away.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, time to look at things
Gotcha.
because money likes to be paid attention to.
Yeah. So you
So,
felt like you kind of just stuffed it away and ignored it a little bit?
uh,
Well, because
well,
access consciousness,
mm,
which is one of the, what
my broker pays attention to
okay,
it.
okay. I just was you were like saying that over and over, but access consciousness does say, to put
10%
10%,
in.
pay yourself
Mhm.
first, like no matter what. Like even if you have debt collection, da 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 da, always pay yourself
Yep.
10%.
And I think that is if I'm gonna help somebody, if money is just being water and sliding through your fingers, I'm going to tell you that's the first place to start.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Because money attracts money.
Yes.
Do y'all get that?
And if you have an account and over, like, say you make $10,000 in a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you put 10% in, $1,000, that adds up. By the end of the year, you'll have $12,000. Is that right? Yes. Uh,
Oh,
like,
10,000. Yes, yes, yes,
yes.
yes. Okay.
And so then you feel
Yes,
like
compound interest.
you actually have money.
Yeah.
It feels like in your system,
Yeah.
well, it would be okay for something bad to happen
Yeah.
because I have money.
Yeah.
Except don't think of it that belief
Yeah.
because you don't want to make something bad happen, like a rainy day account. Really, you want to say, hey, you know what? Now is the time for me to get a new roof.
Right.
Now's
Right.
the
Right.
time for me to get a new air
Yeah.
conditioner or whatever it is, right?
Right.
And so that would be the invitation for you to start there so that you actually feel that frequency of having money. And it's not a lie when you're going around and you're trying to tell your brain and your subconscious and going through hypnosis, like, I have money, I have money, I have money, I have money. It's not how that you really
It
do,
really
in a
does.
lot of cases, have to
Yeah.
have it for that frequency to be your signature electromagnetic frequency that goes out in the world.
I'd even venture to say yes.
Most of the
Uh,
time, for most
yes.
people,
Yeah.
let's just say
Yeah.
it that
We'll
way.
just go that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because it can be a stretch when you're
Mhm.
going like, I'm rich. And you're sitting
Well,
there, without anything and you're really, really
and
struggling.
that's a
And
lie. It
yeah,
feels like a lie.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And I know what that feels like. I've had moments like that,
Hmm.
when I was younger, or, I've just had moments like that. And I, I was a caretaker for my family. And so, yeah, I overextended myself a couple places.
Hmm.
And one
Uh-huh.
of my family members, like, I got in trouble for writing a hot check because I wrote the deposit for their
Hmm.
house, like, no, thinking that they were going to give me the money back. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of little places like that, but like, whatever. And, because they're with my parents, right?
Hmm.
And so places like that where I've had that feeling, it is really hard to, rock around and be like, I'm rich whenever you're like, somebody's coming to you and being like, hey, why is this check overdrawn? Right.
Hmm.
And so I can relate to that a lot. And so I think that even though it wasn't my fault, it still felt really damning, right? Like if
Mhm.
you put yourself into this place, and so then you create a belief system
Yeah.
around that, which kind of
Yeah.
leads us into the next thing.
Great. Why don't you
Yeah, go
start
ahead.
that? Go
So
ahead.
basically, we had kind of so Jennifer and I were looking at how people tend to do money, and I think the best place to start before we get into self-worth
Mhm.
is to get into where we start these belief systems.
Yep.
And one of the bigger belief system that society as a collection have is that there is not enough to go around. Now,
Mhm.
I know that can be a stretch. Basically, whenever you're saying, because we have been entrained to believe that there is, with economics, that some have and some have not.
Mhm.
So some can have where somebody else, so there's like, give and take. However, when you look at quantum physics and you look at quantum mechanics in the superposition,
Uh-huh.
if you believe that there is enough for all, which is really what the law of one has stated to us, then there is more than enough to go around.
Well, if you look at from a oneness standpoint, especially then,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and anything is possible. However, as a collective, as humanity, regardless of the programming, whatever, there is a fundamental agreement that we have made to all accept that there are some haves and some have nots,
Mhm.
and that there is not enough to go around.
Mhm.
So if I give to you, then I have to take from another place. And
Mhm.
that is just a fundamental thing that we've been taught in economics. We talk about, we learn it in school.
Right.
My grandparents, I was raised with my grandparents. They never talked about money in my household. It
Mhm.
wasn't until I got to college, I wrote a paper about
Yeah.
how important it is to talk to your kids about money, because I was all about it. Like I
Mhm.
understood money, I made money, I was not afraid of
You
it.
went out on your own and
Yeah.
learned about it.
Yes, I
Mhm.
absolutely did. But I think it's a fallacy, especially in my culture, to not talk about money. And I
Yeah.
think that's because the feeling there is that there's just not enough to go
Yeah.
around. So when anybody is starting at Humanity Collective as there's not enough to go around, then from there we kind of put ourselves into these buckets.
Mhm.
Like there's the archetype that says, well, I'm gonna have that money.
Yep.
And so then there's a almost,
And
and that's the
agreed
greed, right?
that,
So
yeah.
that's like I have to get there. And then there's the
Well, and the greed is also stealing from others, taking things that,
right.
yeah,
It's
wasn't
operating
truly a contribution.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Uh,
because
And that messes up everything in a
right,
way,
correct.
and their belief system around it too.
Right.
Mhm.
And then conversely, there's the people that don't believe that they are worthy enough to have the money. Yes, it's like basically, and there's a whole lot of different reasons
Yeah.
about worth is really playing into that. And so basically, again, when I was
Yeah.
saying that, my family overdrew, like I wrote a check for them. They didn't give me the money, so I overdrew my account, by $1,500. Then I've got like the hot check writers. Like I was like, oh my God, how is this me? But
Yeah.
because of trust and whatever, then I made myself wrong. So I put myself in this non-worthy in those
Yeah.
moments
Well, that
for
wasn't,
money.
yeah. See, my dad wouldn't have said that that was okay in his book, right? Like, don't let family members borrow
I
money.
know, but it was my mom. Like I can't let her on the streets, right? And so, and I just wanted to make this problem go away. And she's like,
Mhm.
Mija, I'll give it back to you. Blah, blah." I mean, I swear
Yeah.
for whatever. She had the cutest little face. And, and I knew that I could make it back. Like I knew and that's the reason
Yeah.
why.
My dad says if you give money, never expect it back.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would learn that later.
Yeah.
My grandpa said the same thing.
Hmm.
So so we never talked about money because there was a belief system that there was not enough. And
Hmm.
so let's talk about where we get
That the lack,
yeah.
yeah. So the words we wrote down were ancestral survival programming. A lot of our families were in wars and famine and had
This is heavy.
suffered from these like economic crisis and even slavery
Mm-hmm.
in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
So to survive, they started trying to hoard whenever they got something. And they would eat like I mean, I remember my mom saying, she's like, we didn't even have toilet paper in the out, they had to
Mhm.
go to the
Mhm.
bathroom outside
Mhm.
and they used corn cobs.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's really, where their body and their energy was at that time, especially I think parents that were, born around 1920,
Mhm.
1930,
Mhm.
that those people really, really suffered through that economic depression,
Right.
depending what they did. Because I had one side, my mom's side, that was like dirt poor. And then my dad's side, his his father was had a 100th mile acreage
Yeah.
and had like these horse
Oh,
trails and
dang.
stuff like that.
Dang.
So they had,
Yeah.
they just, were they had a different mindset for
Sure.
one.
Sure, sure.
And even growing up, I could tell the difference. My mom really didn't feel good enough for my dad. And I think that as sad as this
Interesting.
is, that came down to her growing up very, very poor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so
absolutely.
again, so ancestral survivor programs, so anywhere where
Mhm.
you might have ancestral, where you maybe you don't even know
Yeah,
where it's
but it's
hiding.
just so hidden, invisible, covert, unseen,
Mm-hmm.
unsaid, unacknowledged. And it's like a part of you. And you kind of know it's a part of you. It's been passed down epigenetically, it's been passed down through entrainment. And anywhere where you can just kind of have these cellular memories of not enough, it, all of that and everything else that brings up that makes you even feel a little ill, would you please hand that over with all the vows, oaths, commitments, fealties, and communities that you have along with it?
Yes.
And take that out into the field as an infinite being, one, two, and three.
Woohoo! Yeah. And the next
Mhm.
one is may bring up an even bigger
Bigger.
charge. Let's charge that
We're
up and
just
get it
charging
out.
you up, and
Yeah.
hopefully you'll leave like all chill and be like, okay, I have choice around this.
Hey, whenever you get a charge, it means it comes up, especially during this strawberry moon. Whenever you
Mhm.
get a charge that comes up, it's because it is meant for you to feel, to express it, but also to move it through and out.
Mhm.
So if you get charged by curse words or anything like that, or if somebody's talking about religion, then no, that might be
Mhm.
something that there's like a little bit of sticking point there. So we're only bringing these up so that they can stop you in your
So,
tracks
right.
and then so you can remove it.
Yeah.
So the next one is religious conditioning. Many times our lack or unworthiness could have come from around money from religious conditioning. Have you ever heard the words blessed are the poor?
Yeah. I see.
Wow, right? And it almost makes some people feel like I will be more blessed and viewed by God or Jesus if I remain meek
Yeah.
and or poor and thus humble. And so then you project to the field that exact frequency so that the field is saying the universe is saying, okay, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
I will keep you poor because that is the belief system and how you feel your blessings come.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that people will almost avoid or like the plague
Mhm.
avoid just being themselves and avoid
Yeah,
they'll
because they
divorce
feel that they
themselves.
have to be this
Yeah.
way for religious
Yep.
training.
Right. And a lot of times it just hides there. Like you don't realize that you are doing this because you had so much
But
religious and training. But I
mhm.
remember hearing that too. It'd be there was I mean, and then on top of that, like there's the religious doctrine, but then there's also like Hollywood and other doctrines that kind of feed into that. And
Mhm.
how many different programs or stories have you heard where it's like there's the rich person and then there's the poor person. And who are we always rooting for? We're always rooting for that poor person, right? And they make the rich person out to be so like bad and evil. And we've heard the words, money is the root of all evil. Even just having any of that, even oh gosh, everywhere where you feel like
You're charged around this. And I grew up with the minister.
everywhere where you feel like Money is the root of all evil. Will you please destroy and uncreate that now?
Yes, please.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Okay. And
And
so
we're later going to get to what the star seeds and the witches had to go through. Way.
yes,
It's coming up.
I know, promise you. So the monks taking vows of poverty to be pure. There's the other
Yeah.
thing. It's Billy Carson wrote the book. It woke don't mean yeah, woke don't mean broke.
Yeah.
Basically, there's this other belief system that if you're talking spirituality and if you're talking about mysticism or you're giving people healing, that you can't ask for money.
Right. That's your innate gift. So why would you ask for money
Well,
for it?
because it's an energy, it's a
I
contribution. And
know.
honestly, because we have to pay the bills too, right? Like this is the
I
beautiful thing that we've been,
so, and I
yeah,
don't really get that in my belief
yeah,
system. I mean, my dad used to say things like, you can't take it with you, money doesn't grow on trees.
yeah,
And I kind of got that, but then this other part of me was, we always felt like, no, if somebody's going to offer me money, I'm never going to refuse it. And if I mean, I just feel like it's just a contribution.
right.
Like that is the choice.
Yeah,
And like, here's somebody who, has like there's trays going around in church and stuff like
yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
Like, yes, you contribute. You grow from a message, you grow from a service.
yeah.
You I mean,
You should be
people love to
excited.
like
Right.
empty their pockets for that.
Yeah.
That is something that people are really like, yes, one little limiting belief that you can get rid of on one of these calls could possibly change your entire future, and then no, I'm not supposed to accept and receive money for that. I mean, let me just like stand on my soapbox here. No? Okay.
Go ahead. Please do. Please do. No, I'm right here with you. Please do.
No, I think I've made my point,
Okay.
but all of these things. So let's just do a little clearing for all this,
Yes.
because now I'm getting charged in the opposite way. So everywhere where you've bought some of these lies, root of all evil, like you bring them up in you. Like, what were the money talks that you got from your parents that made you want to hold back?
Your parents, your doctrine, the collective from
Yep.
Disney. Somebody wrote one of your, yeah, one of you brought up Disney villains usually being rich, right? From all
funny.
of those places, everywhere we're collectively holding on to keep this in place,
Yes.
this matrix programming in
Mhm.
place. Would you be willing to try and create that now, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can let that run, let that run, let that run.
Let that-
Is there any time, space, past lives, now, here, non-belief, belief, anything that doesn't allow you to believe that this really can clear this?
Mhm.
We just trying to create that
Thank
now,
you.
please.
Mhm.
Woo-hoo-hoo! All right. One, two, three.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move to the next.
All the places and spaces where you made these doctrines of lack noble,
Ooh.
would you destroy and uncreate everything that is?
Yes.
1, 2, and 3.
Especially for women and mystics.
I know.
Woo!
And coaches and gifted
Right.
coaches
I-
that, yes, wow.
I have,
Uh-huh.
it's not as prevalent
Mhm.
as before, but I remember seeing comments on on the chat and stuff. They're like, if this is so great and whatever, why aren't you giving it away for free? And I used to be like, it should be a contribution. Like now that I understand how money works, I want to pay people what they are worth. Like
Uh-huh.
I want to give my money. I'm like, dude, that was a great talk. Like, da da da. What, I want to contribute. And sometimes if I see somebody playing great music on the street and they got a little CD, I don't even play a CD. I don't have a CD player. But one time
Yeah.
I bought this like really cool xylophone music because the dude had a CD and
Mhm.
he was just jamming his butt off and just living the dream. And like it was an island, whatever. So I bought the CD just to be a contribution because it
Yep.
was such a like it gave me such love and joy and in that moment. And that's how I feel about a lot of the creations that
Yeah.
people are putting forth here today. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So Now we'll talk about family beliefs.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's that place and space where someone else can make you
Yeah.
feel unworthy,
Yeah.
make you feel wrong, make you feel not good enough,
Hmm.
cause you stress, cause you tension, um, simply by some simple things. I remember when I took a trip just recently, I was standing behind this cute little couple that had probably a 2 or 3 year old daughter in a stroller, and they passed the little ice cream stand in the airport. And it was like 10 in the morning for one. And she's like, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. And the dad's like, honey, we can't get ice cream right now. She's like, why not? And he was like, well, we don't have the money right now. And I was like, ooh. And it just kind of like burned me in my soul because it wasn't about the money. It was because it was like morning and they're trying to get everything
Oh, so you didn't
organized and
believe his
I didn't
story.
believe his story. Heck, if you're taking a trip on an airplane, you don't have enough money for an ice cream cone. That was a lie.
Yeah.
And I'm standing
Yeah.
listening to this and I'm going, ew. And I said, I just went on with my life, but I thought, wow, that's a story, right? And she might have even got like every time somebody has given you a lie, especially around money, and especially as a child, where it's actually a lie
Yeah.
so that they don't have to take the time to get you an ice cream cone,
Yeah.
so that they don't have to, explain why it's not good to eat ice cream first thing in the morning and whatever else
You
that
could
they
tell he was
actually
telling
could
a
have
white lie
said.
on that, right? Like, yeah, yeah,
White
yeah, yeah,
lie.
yeah.
But it was just like, ew for me, because I just felt like,
He
be
was,
in integrity with your word,
yeah,
especially to your kids.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because now she believes that she's going to grow up and be like, well, we don't have the money for
Money for
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
And so that creates a pain association, right? So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
And it might always be ice cream's too expensive or something in her
just
kids, who knows?
enjoyment could be
Hmm.
too expensive.
Yeah.
Pleasure could be
Pleasure,
too expensive, right?
something that you just really, really, really want, you've got
Yeah.
to avoid because of money. And I might have some of this in me. I feel the
I
choice
know, right,
happening.
right, right. And my legs are all pointed like I'm getting up.
Yeah. But
Anywhere that.
remember that someone in your family has made you wrong with your
Mm.
choices around money, where you knew that your choice was what you really wanted to choose. Would you
Ooh,
destroy and uncreate
yes.
everything that is
From this lifetime, any lifetime, past,
past
future, any facet
place?
of your safe self in any dimension. Ah,
Yes.
yes, I will destroy and create that now, please.
Yes, please.
Uh,
All the people that are out there that believe that you have to work hard to get anything in life, and especially money,
or money doesn't grow on trees.
pod pop.
Yeah.
All the points of creation, all the points of destruction that you've got around that.
Everybody on this call, I can feel you.
Oh,
All right, let's destroy it. Let's just put it all here. Let's put it all in.
yeah.
Ah, yes.
We need like a Burning Man for this one. Where's our
We can't
torch?
for that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard. You gotta struggle. Like,
Yep.
success takes hard work, yo. Everywhere you've bought into these lies and beliefs and programmed matrix systems,
Mhm.
looping and re-looping back on each other, will you please just run and create that now?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It says, as a child, you absorb these messages like gospel.
Yep.
Yeah, before you had any filters. So
Mhm.
you linked money again with that story that you
Yeah.
told. She linked it with the pain, money with stress, unworthy, tension, or hard work in
Yeah.
order to make money. I have that big time, or had that big time.
Right.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Another place where unworthiness comes up from this is you overgive too.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
really want to, by giving, 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 giving,
Mhm.
giving, you feel like you're receiving love, or you feel like you're receiving, kindness
Yeah.
or something from
Right.
someone
Right.
else.
Right. Right. Right.
Really, here, I can't express this enough. You really have to look at money as a contribution. Like I'm not giving because I want to feel something else. I'm giving to receive
Right.
100%. Like I buy a curling iron and it's worth exactly that money that I spent on the curling iron feeling. Like, yes, I'd rather have this curling iron over the money
Yeah.
or so, yeah, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Kind of.
But people will give, 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 give,
Yeah.
give because they feel like they're not good enough and it fulfills them in some way. So everything that is for you and everywhere where that comes up, would you destroy and uncreate that?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
We chihuahuas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to listen to this on replay because there are clearings and a lot of charge here.
I know.
Um,
Ugh. Do we want to go down this rabbit hole or
yeah,
should we go somewhere else?
okay, we'll just do it fast. So
Okay.
the industrial age and capitalist scarcity model, we talked a little bit about this earlier,
Yeah.
about the model that we have in economics.
Mhm.
The economy was designed to benefit a small percentage of people and the rest, keep the rest in fear of losing what they have. Created a rat race of productivity and burnout, tied your values to your labor and time. This is a big one. So I remember whenever so I was my ex-husband or whatever, we bought a house and really I pushed to get this house, whatever. And because I just thought it was a great investment. It was.
Mhm.
And so I would give him the money to pay for the mortgage. And so he wasn't paying it. And we were already kind of on the outs. And so I was like, basically, I was like, what are you doing with the money? Right. Like I was freaking out because I didn't realize people could be that like untrustworthy. Again, I guess I felt it that too.
Uh-huh.
And so long story short, I was like, yeah, I'll buy you out of the house, whatever.
Mhm.
But one of the things that he told me was, he's like, what's the big deal? It's just money. And I was like, I got really quiet and I was like, you know what? I actually trade my time for making that money.
Yeah.
And that hurt my feelings. So
Right.
now I was giving up a little bit of my freedoms,
Right.
and now you're not using that to pay the bills. Like
Right.
it was very, very, very heartbreaking
No,
to me.
I think that is a real true statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, but in that way, I could see where that trade-off was. But when I associated my value to that
Mhm.
labor and time, then I've diminished myself,
Yeah.
right? So if I've associated my value to money,
Yeah.
I've diminished myself.
Yeah.
So everywhere where you make money bigger than you, we destroy and create that, please.
That's please.
Everywhere you have made the rat race your, oh goodness, your modus operandi for creation in this reality, will you please destroy and create that now, please?
Early bird gets the worm.
Like we have created a system in which we are basically like working our fingers to the bone, have to live in unease in order to just be.
I know.
Gosh, y'all, let's just destroy
Try
and
and
create
create
that
that.
now.
Yeah, wow, that's good. Whoops. Please, my gosh, that's so good.
And then, so again, promoted a false scarcity to control behavior,
Mhm.
sales tactics, inflation, the way I've
Yep.
been saying it, right?
Yeah.
Sales tactics, inflation, competition. In
Yeah.
fact, I read a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And basically, it was the story of Jesus, his ability to be the invitation.
Yeah.
But it compared that person to a salesperson because I was a salesperson for a long, long time.
Well, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, right? And so that's that's the other side of it, because then you love it so much, you just do it naturally all the time, all the time, all the time. Like that's when you're on purpose, that's when you're on plan, that's when you're, quote, as we were saying, per Ryzen, out of sin.
Right. That's
Yeah.
yeah. When your sans your plan, your sans your purpose.
Because
without your sin, your
Right.
sans, without your purpose. And so you're getting off track here,
Yeah.
right? So like whenever you're living life. And so that is one of those ways in which we make that bigger than ourselves. The other thing I was gonna say here was basically we have bought into scarcity as a tool for control over population. Every word that is, anything that is.
Wait, I missed it, I think.
Scarcity as a control.
Yes. Scarcity as a control.
Control for population.
Yeah.
We just try and create that
Yes,
now.
please.
I let that run.
See, I know you thought we were going to talk about abundance here when I wrote that email.
We are, because as we're
Yes.
clearing,
Yes.
we are removing
Okay.
this sticky crud within our belief system, realized or not, to clear the path for abundance. I mean, automatically, you could get off this call right now and have been already changed. And I will say that wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
with absolute fact.
Yeah.
Because it does. And you can let this run and ask it to run again. You could come back to this replay and just write these clearings down and let them run and run and run again.
Yeah.
Say them
Yeah,
to
we
yourself.
can make a loop.
Yeah, make a loop. Ooh. So on a metaphysical level, the belief in lack systems from the illusion of separation, cut off from source, others, the lie creates fear, comparison, mine versus your mentality. That kind of feeds right back into that.
Yeah.
But it just takes it one step further and not, saying on the metaphysical level,
Right.
This I have, and so you have not. And so it's that illusion of separation. So the duality, but we really aren't really duality. We've learned that through metaphysics. So hopefully we've got that when we come to Earth, we then are playing into that yin and yang duality, and thus keeps us separate.
And it's an illusion.
Yeah, it is. It's
Talking about illusion, I have some other things to address, but all the illusions you have, where it's mine or yours, comparison or fear that you're not, you've got to buy the best clothes and look a certain way so that you're accepted in this reality. All that is and everything that brings up. Oh, I'm getting hot. Would you destroy and uncreate that?
Yeah.
Please.
Woof.
Wow.
I like this one right here. I can't tell who wrote it, but it was probably one of my favorite comments. This is the lie of you can't live in a fantasy land. And Tiffany wrote, the hell I can't.
I know.
Let's go, Delulu.
Yeah. Well, in fact, I was playing with the dragons and oh my goodness, I've got to say this.
Okay.
I'm like, the world needs a Delulu land and let's create it.
Yeah. Who's
I
coming
said that
with?
yesterday. Like, let's, great, because there's all of this linear programming and none of it is actually true. It's a lot of lying to us to control us as a collective.
Yeah.
I truly think the illusion land is where we need to play, and heck, it can drop your stress levels and you can get healthier. It can make you look more vibrant,
have more sex.
Yeah. I mean,
play with magic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it is magical when you're playing in the field.
Yes.
And people just don't get it on the level that we do.
That or they're
just had to say it that way.
I love that. And if even like within this live call right here, if all of us just created this new Delulu land where we play, we then have already ignited the world by us coming alive in just these moments, right? And as we do, we light the light. We are the invitation for others to become enlightened, so their little light bulb comes on, because now we're permeating a whole new place of reality. And thus that's how we take our swords and just cut right through that matrix. Who's coming with?
I know. Who's in? Yeah. I mean, I really feel like it's time for us star seeds and healers and mystics to kick these karmic imprints to the curb. We are the ones that are going to change this world.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Didn't Steve Jobs say something like that? Like it's the dreamers that change the world, right? Yeah. Well, that's close enough to where we're going with.
Yes, I love this. So basically, for the bonus here for starseeds, healers, and mystics, we may also carry karmic imprints, because we understand that from lifetimes where we were punished, where we were killed for using gifts, right? I know
for having magical powers,
for being a witch. How many times have I been burned at the stake? Lots, I can tell.
I know. So all that is.
Right, everything that is. Oh, let's do that one.
Wow. Let's do that one for real, guys. We can use a little awesomeness with this one, okay? All of you that have even tried to hide your magic and your magical powers because you were made so wrong, and it could even have been in this lifetime. Can we just like rise up all that energy
Yes.
and let that go? One,
Yes.
two, and three.
Anyone where any lifetime where others were persecuted around you,
Mhm.
family members, trauma for you speaking your truth and the truth of the truth,
Or your truth.
your truth, the truth.
Mhm.
Basically, how magic works.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you're persecuted or the people that loved you, we destroy and create that now, please.
Yes, please.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
So in this life, part of you equates visibility and wealth with danger. I have absolutely have had that.
Mhm.
In fact, I had on a reading that I always say that changed my life
Mhm.
that I sold because I couldn't imagine myself paying for a reading. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine myself buying a $97 reading with a little course on a telesummit way back in the day because I just thought that that just was outside of my realm.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to spend money on that. But I had a couple purses that I didn't use anymore. There was some
Mhm.
I don't know, Coach purses. And I was like, oh, let me just sell those.
Uh-huh.
And so I bought a whole bunch of different readings. And it was the best thing I ever did in my life because
Yeah.
that lady said I would be on purpose, but I had to be willing to become the unicorn that I am.
Mhm.
And I knew exactly what she was saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was saying I had to be okay with talking about mysticism on a podcast at 11 a.m.
And be willing to get vilified
Yeah.
and judged
Yeah.
in many, many, many ways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Family, friends, anything.
Yeah.
Just for bringing up the idea of these different things, talking about UFOs or anything like
Yeah.
this. So I then did become okay with becoming the unicorn.
Mhm.
And I do love what we do here.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of places where I really wanted to run and hide.
Mhm.
So hiding that visibility and wealth because I have associated it with danger and prosecution. In fact,
Yeah.
I did have family members that were persecuted and
Yeah.
also burned at the stake with
I've
me.
had people judge me for this work.
Yeah.
I mean, on an ongoing basis, and that I'm just kind of the black sheep of the family. And you know what?
You're a cute one though.
I'd rather be a happy dragon than be in their little contracted. So everywhere where that's you, but you know that you're still kind of quietly hiding your gift still, and you're not being that full expression. Your throat chakra is not being loud enough. Would you be willing to let that go, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Woo.
Woo-wee. I had a lot of that still in there.
I
Yeah.
like this comment. These clearings are priceless. No pun.
Love you.
I feel like
Dude,
the
you're
more
funny.
she hangs around us, the funnier she's getting.
Yeah, she's gonna be like comic relief for us all the time. Keep it coming. She said, "I come."
Came here to play on
Yeah.
these earth trips.
Stow those protons. I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, and then we can invite even more magic in, magic that we didn't even know existed. The other day, yesterday, I ran Janet's bars, and we can talk to you about that, whatever. But basically, I got the clear message that when we create, we can go so far beyond what we can even imagine. And in fact, that was the invitation.
Yeah.
Now, from this place of all the clearing, you can finally just start a little bit playing there. Keep clearing, keep doing it. It works. I promise you. I was right there, and I still struggle sometimes, right?
Yeah.
With what I want to put out and how I do, but ask your guides for help.
Yeah.
Do the clearings, and then start playing in a place where you could not even comprehend. We don't even have to put our minds around it when we ask the magic come to assist us, because anything is possible.
I think it's funny. I was wearing my hustle hat to Natural Grocers over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went to check out, she was like, what's that? And I was like, yeah, I run a podcast. She's like, oh, I love podcasts. What's it about? And I'm like, it's about mysticism and woo and channeling, and we go way out there. And I found myself like really fully
That's
expressing that.
cool.
And she's like, oh, I love that kind of stuff. Now, I was at a natural grocer's, so I felt a little freer. I probably could have done that at Whole Foods, but I don't know about some of the people at HEB. So to answer your question, one of you guys asked, what is it that you say that you do for a living? And so I say we run a podcast.
Yeah. We allow people to
Yeah.
be themselves.
And we kept the name very broad
Yeah.
because not to avoid judgment, but we want to grow this possibly beyond just mysticism too.
Well, it's always mysticism and, right?
Yeah, mysticism at the core, at the root, at the
Because it's always
foundation.
magic,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
everything we do is going to come with a flare of magic, man. That's what those dragons are for. Yeah.
Yes,
Who
yes.
wants to join me Friday and go on another dragon adventure?
That's cool.
Yeah,
So that's
loving
something you're
this.
doing in
And
the
the growth day.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, you can try it for free for 7 days. Did I mention that? I'll put the link in the newsletter again. And it's at howhustle.com/join when you join the growth day version of Mystique.
Wow, I can't believe we got to the end of this call so fast. Like, I mean, there's just so much here. And when you get to this point, then you can start playing with the magic and the money. So it just like leads right into the next, things. We're like, okay, how do I create from this space? Now what?
Right.
And then you can always come back into the clearings again. And we always come back to that, right? And where you're playing with a couple of announcements.
Yep.
So on Thursday, don't forget to join us. We're going to have Amba Jam and doing that rebroadcast. It's going to be phenomenal. That's one of our favorite calls. It's one of our most popular. People are always commenting on it. Amba Jam is just a treasure to hear from and work with. And then next Tuesday, I will be out, but Jeneth will be here. And are you having Tarek?
I think Tarek is joining.
Yes, rejoining us, and he is phenomenal as well. And so he was on the summit. And so basically, I would invite you to check out all the summit replays. They're up right now, or the featured ones are up right now on our replay page. And you can get the replays by searching How Hustle on YouTube. You can also get our newsletter by searching by going to www.howhustle.com. And then also in the description of anything that you see here is also going to give you that information as well. So again, Tarek was really cool. He has got these poems. He just elicits so much emotion, and then he goes back and does this energy, infinite healing or infinity healing that. It's a lot of the same kind of work, but it's just, I mean, it's like the way he poses it and comes from such a meditative space that I really love. And then also on Thursday, we'll be back with her, except for I'll be remote in California. So we'll be having another fun discussion where we take this a bit further. And then I just want to remind you that a portion of the proceeds always go back to support. We believe in giving back. And so right now we're supporting the organization of riseandup.org, where it's students that take laptops and tablets to refurbish and give to other students in need for the use in wellness and education. Any other announcements that you got?
Mystique is tomorrow.
Mystique is tomorrow.
And just be with me. And Lianka is off taking a little bit of a break. So yay, she needs one.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we have Hillary Faye coming up later on in the month,
that's
and
right.
a couple other really great people that are encores from the summit.
Yeah, we invite you to stay with us. You can always catch the lives or the replays. Just sign up at howhustle.com, and reminding you to take a little time to enjoy woo. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye, everyone. Oh, by the way, summit replays are up through Sunday.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to say that.
Bye, everyone.